Good evening, everybody. Could I please have your attention? Thank you all for coming out to the second night of Meet the Candidates. I can't tell you how much I appreciate having so many interested members, people who are interested in the future of the club. And I want to reassure you that we have a great slate of prospective board members. All of them are great, and I will be very happy to serve with whoever's elected. Either way, the club's going to win, no matter who wins this election. But I'm very honored to have them all here, introducing themselves, telling you a little bit about themselves. And just like last time, if you want to ask them questions or meet with them after the presentation, I would encourage you to do so, but please no questions on the fly from the peanut gallery. And with that, I will turn it over to our General Manager, Mark Abrams.
Thank you, Commodore. I appreciate it. You got a taste of what being a future Commodore is like. And I would like to, at random, invite one of the candidates. And well, why don't we start with Jerry Douglas? Is he here? Okay, good. Come on in.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you all. Can you hear me? Yes. Well, thank you all, and thanks for the opportunity to speak to you. To start with, I'm the guy in the program here on a boat having a bad hair day, like most sailors do. So that's me right there. Firstly, I want to thank all of you that supported me when I ran for my first term on the board. I'm running for my second term. I hope I've justified your confidence in me and earned your support for a second term. Especially the Salties, who we know actually run this club, right? Thank you for your support. I've been pleased to be part of the board that faced some of the toughest 6 months this club's ever faced through the COVID-19 crisis. As a board member, I played a small part in keeping this place a safe place for us all to meet, have a meal, have a drink, and enjoy the company of our friends. But the bulk of the work was done by our flag officers, led by Michael Blacker, and I think we all owe them a round of applause. Thank you all. There are a few places in this town where we could have that experience, and they kept the club open so we could enjoy that, but again, they did a wonderful job. A bit about me. What I will do is I'll continue to be a conduit to those that can do things about things that you bring to me as concerns. Many folks in this room and in this club have come to me when they see me at the bar or the tiki or on the water and express concerns or compliments about things they think have gone right or wrong. And I do my best to relay those to those folks that can do something about them. I feel my job as a board member is to be your conduit to the authorities that can do something about things you're concerned about. And I'll continue to do that. The second thing I will try to do is be a good board member. I think it's important to show up at every meeting on time, know the issues, have read all the literature beforehand, studied the financials, and understand what you're voting on. Fully 95% of what the board votes on have to do with financial issues. Either we're appropriating money or responding to requests, And it's important to have somebody on the board, like me, that runs a large, well, medium-sized company, got over 100 employees, but I have to pay attention to the numbers. I've served as a chief financial officer in Ventura County, elected position for a number of years, and so I understand how to read a spreadsheet, how to look at a P&L statement, and understand what the numbers mean. And I think that's so important for any board member, because we're spending our money every time we meet. There's something to vote on that involves a financial decision. And so I can't overestimate the importance of having some folks on the board that understand what they're looking at. The last thing I wanted to mention is about me personally. My only ambition is to be a good board member. I love serving on some committees, and I've done a number of that. I'm a chair of our sponsorship committee. I'm active with our Good Old Boat organization and several race committees, and I enjoy that a lot. But beyond that, I have no ambitions but to be a good board member. I don't intend to use this as a platform to be in the flags. That's not where I am. I just want to do the job you vote for me to hold to the best of my ability. So I appreciate your support when it comes time to cast your ballot. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Douglas. Appreciate it. And the next candidate I'd like to call to the stage is Mary Hacker.
Hi, I'm Mary Hacker. I live out at the beach. I think a lot of you were here last week and you got to hear a lot about my background. I just want to say probably the most important thing that I have done in the 20 years that I haven't held a real job is that I am the chair of the Finance and Budget Committee for the City of St. Pete Beach. And basically what that means is the budget for that city starts with me and my committee. And we push that budget and that finance down to the city commission and then down to the city. And that is a $50 to $65 million budget. And I just want to say that absolutely I agree that you have to understand how to read financial statements. You have to understand what the needs are versus what the wants are. I would just have to say in the last 20 years that that's probably been the most important thing that I have done as a role in society and in my community. I also do many other volunteer jobs. I'm a treasurer for 2 or 3 other different organizations that are nonprofits. I try to help out wherever I can. And I will tell you that I have spent the last 4 years working on your long-range planning committee. I even chaired it 1 year. I have worked on the membership committee, and I have also worked on the finance committee. And I just want to say that you're not going to find anyone who is going to work harder for you than me. I thank you for your consideration, and again, I would like to ask you for your support for a board position. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. The next candidate, intermediate, Bill Waters.
Okay, hello. How are you guys? I'm Bill Waters II, and currently the intermediate, running for the board position next week. St. Pete Yacht Club has actually been a huge part of my life, and in many ways, I do feel like I grew up here. Looking back, learning to sail here at the Sailing Center as a real small kid, the excitement of coming to a unlimited buffet and a huge dessert bar, and looking for the elusive golden egg on Easter weekend, Easter Sunday. And a fun fact, speaking of golden eggs, it's actually this club shares a big part of my heart. Is actually where I met my wife over 7 years ago, up here in the ballroom. So she's pretty cool, and I attribute it all to the club. But currently I am on the board. I'm running for re-election, and I do appreciate your support if you do so have me. I do try to stay involved in the club. I've been on the membership committee for about 4 years now, and I served on the entertainment committee before that. Been a host and a chair of the powerboating poker run event that occurs each year, and I've helped to put on the Vintage Motor Classic, an annual car show that many of you have been to out there in the park each year in November. In my opinion, it's probably the best car show in Florida, so do check that out next year. I appreciate your consideration, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, we appreciate it. Next candidate, I'd like to call to the stage Chad Shakespeare, please.
Hello, my name is Chad Shakespeare. I'm currently on the board, running for another term. I hope I can count on you all for some support. I've been a member of the club since like 1993, I believe. Been involved with the club since I was 7 years old. Come through the junior sailing program, where I currently have 3 kids in that program. I'm on the Sailing Center Committee currently, and also part of the focus group that is looking at how we're going to replace the main docks. I look forward to the opportunity, if you all provide it, to continue putting the club in a good direction.
Thank you very much. May I call Walter Fuller? Thank you.
Well, like I was just mentioned, my name is Walter Fuller. I'm a third generation Floridian and born and raised in St. Petersburg. The club brings lots of memories back. As a child, coming here with friends, hosting our wedding celebration with my wife Andy, as well as really digging in and understanding the greatness of this club with our child Sophia and her sailing aspirations at the Youth Sailing Center next door. And so that really opened up the opportunity to understand what the club really offers in the marketplace. And I was asking several other board members, what would I offer to the board? And it's really that differentiation of understanding what we have been doing, bolstering that opportunity, but also adding opportunities to the club to really promote the club philanthropically possible, as well as maybe adding corporate sponsorships to certain areas, as really progressing in certain areas, but building on the great history that we all had within this club. So if I have your support, I appreciate it. I think I bring a different dynamic to the board, and look forward to your support. Thank you so much.
Thank you. May I call Rachel Russell de Vicente? Welcome to the stage.
Come on in, welcome. We're happy you're here.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
Hi, Ms. Hayner. How are you? Hi, good evening. As you've heard, my name is Rachel Russell de Vicente. I'm a third generation member of the club. And I think those of us who grew up in St. Petersburg and had the privilege to run around this place acted like we owned it from a very young age. And now that I am raising 3 that have the same MO when they ran around here, it's been interesting because we haven't been out much since April. And one of the things that we have thought, and I know a lot of you have too, is what are the places that we love in St. Pete that we want to make it through in every capacity? The people that we love, the servers we love, the family that we love. And I think for our family, that was this place. And so although we haven't had many opportunities to sit in here, we have used the you-know-what out of the drive-thru to pick up dinner. So I have loved that, and I really hope that stays. Because who doesn't like picking up dinner rather than cooking it, right? My biographical information is in smooth sailing. So my background is primarily in a lot of nonprofit kind of philanthropic work. And I think that what makes me unique to kind of fill a place on the board is the fact that we're in a really beautiful place to pivot in terms of what things moving forward, in terms of the social life here at the club looks like for comfort for all age groups, especially young families. So thank you so much for your consideration.
Thank you very much. Next candidate, may I call Jody Abrams? Dr. Jody Abrams, I'm sorry.
I'm going to stand up so I'm at least Mark's height. Thank you. I am Jody Abrams. I've been a member here for about 5 years. I've been fortunate to be involved in yacht clubs growing up. I'm from New Orleans area. My father was a Commodore at Pontchartrain Yacht Club, so I got to see early on how important it is for members to be involved, and I've decided to kind of continue that with not only the sailing world, but also other organizations that we belong to. I am a sailor here. I sail out of the Sailing Center on the Melges 32 Arista. I'm very fortunate to have, my daughter is also a junior sailor over there and actually beating me, so that's always fun to see. Sailing is a big part of our lives and what we enjoy to do, and it's one of my big passions. I've been a Sailing Center committee chairman for the last year and fortunate enough to ask to do it again next year. I've also helped co-chair the Good Old Boats Regatta, or the Classic Regatta, from taking it from SPSA, where I was Commodore there, over to here to SPYC, and been fortunate enough to help raise many thousands of dollars, including this year. My newest kind of role will be that I'll be helping George Pennington starting next year as an assistant to the Regatta General to help learning that role. Hopefully in 5 or 10 years when George retires, I'll be able to help take that over, but he's going that long, he told me, so I appreciate it, George. That is basically about me. I appreciate very much. We do love the club here and all the activities, and I appreciate your consideration for a vote.
Thank you very much. May I call to the stage Connie Beckman? Salty sister? You're a salty sister.
I am a salty sister. Hi, I'm Connie Beckman, and for those of you who don't know me, I've been a member of this club since 1996. However, when I married my current husband, we kind of got diverted and went with the United States Power Squadrons. And there I was the squadron commander of 300 people. I became the district commander of 2,500 people. And I ended up at the national level in membership chair for about 3 years. And that's where I learned the importance of the care and feeding of members. And I would like to bring my expertise to this club, so that is why I'm asking for your membership. I have been the captain of the Salty Sisters, and I was very proud to serve. However, I can promise you I will probably only ever be the captain that gets seasick. But that is my way of being. So I'm here to ask for your vote because I'd like to fulfill my mother's decree that when you belong to an organization, you have to give to the organization. And I believe that St. Petersburg Yacht Club is one of those organizations that deserve to have all of its members participate. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next person to come to the stage, candidate, is Scott Boyle.
Thank you, Mark. Good evening. My name's Scott Boyle. I have been a member of this illustrious club for over 30 years. Was introduced to the club in the late 60s by some family friends and have spent many wonderful experiences here over the years. I retired from 42 years in the banking industry last year. I have served on several committees over the years, including House and Grounds, long-range planning. I served 2 years on the board, and I have been on the Finance Committee for the last 10 years. I think that provides me with a unique look inside the club's operations and the finances. I would very much appreciate your support and your vote next week if you haven't already voted. I think the club, like so many businesses right now, is facing very challenging times, but with the right leadership, we'll continue to prosper and probably will be better off for the experience when we come out the other end. Appreciate you being here tonight, and I'm here all week. Thank you.
Thank you. May I call Wayne Andrews? He might, okay, he is.
Thank you, Mark. Hi, I'm Wayne Andrews. I've been a member of the club since 1996. Grew up on Long Island Sound sailing, did a lot of Block Island races, a couple of Bermuda races, a transatlantic, so I grew up sailing. First thing I did when I came to St. Pete was join the yacht club. I worked for Raymond James. I was very busy, so I didn't spend a lot of time here. I retired about 6 years ago and decided it was time to give back to the club. Since then, I've been on the executive committee for about 4 years. I've been on the sponsorship committee, membership committee for the last 3 or 4 years, and I've been the head of the membership committee for the last 2. I'd like to continue giving back to the club in whatever capacity I can, so I'd be glad to serve on the board if you'll have my vote. I've 3 kids that I raised here too, and my youngest is a member, so thanks very much for your consideration.
Thank you very much. May I call Fred Bigley Jr., please?
Good evening. My name is Fred Bigley. I've been a 4th generation from St. Pete, which is odd in this state. However, fortunately, my family has been somewhat involved in this club since that time. And I grew up when Commodore Mendelblatt was Coach Mendelblatt, or David to me. As Chad said, since we were 7 years old, sailing, distributing the burgery of this club around the world, which was a very fortunate thing for us to be able to experience due to what this club provided for us. I remember the times when we were just building this building and the logistics of even being young, the logistics of the off-site club and the other issues that we've had coming in when I was previously involved. They were still working on financial issues. We obviously have a unique issue now. Hopefully my experience, and lifetime commitment to this club here would help with that. And, I'd be honored if I got the opportunity again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And may I call Joe Devito?
Thank you, Mark. So I heard Jerry talk about his picture, his windblown hair. I would just love to have that feature. For those of you who are watching on live, is the glare okay? I think that's probably part of the problem. My name's Joe Devito, and I'm running for the board for the first time, but it has been my pleasure to serve the board for the last 5 years as chairman of legal and bylaws. And if you don't know what that basically means I'm the lawyer. So I have served the board in a lot of the issues that have come before them, the contract issues, employment issues, dock issues, member issues. I hope no one's here that I had to personally write a letter to. And I can say to all, the executive committee has heard this, but I have not had one of the flag officers go to jail on my watch. And I know David is looking forward to that continuing. It's been really an honor to serve in this capacity. And speaking of service, I have been involved in service going back to the JCs, the Kiwanis, because I believe you have to give to a community that you're a part of, and I have done that all my life. So when asked to serve for the chair of legal and bylaws, I accepted that. It's not a paying job, if you wonder. I'm not making any money being the chairman of legal and bylaws, but it's an honor, and it's an honor that I treasure in giving back to the club in a small way. I would like to have your vote. I asked for your vote. My wife ran my campaign about 3 years ago, and it was don't vote for Joe because she didn't want me to get involved in another activity. But I'm past that now. I'm slowing down. I'm president of my law firm, but I'm slowing down a little bit in the business world, and I would like to give back to the club, and I would appreciate your vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I don't think I missed anyone, but I'd like to refresh everyone's memory that voting can be done in the office if you wish to vote early. So come on in during business hours and we gladly will accept your vote. So you spend the time here to listen to the candidates. I congratulate all of you, but please act on it. That would be great. We all appreciate your contribution to the selection of the future board member. Thank you. Have a nice evening.